Okay, so our video is unexpectedly in two parts. Alright, so I was just saying that at the end of, so you might notice that these pieces typically have two sides on them, but sometimes they don't, like this one, like this one. In the fourth round, all the pieces only have one side, so it makes it easier to complete your stuff, especially since you'll be kind of at the edge of the board. And these little pieces fit in nicely. Okay. So contract scoring. Each player will choose two adjacent contracts in Mandalore's order. So, oops, I can't see that. Oh, there we go. All right, so the blue guy will go first, and then green, and then yellow, and then red. And as they choose them, then they have to complete them. So I have kind of this example board here that we'll use to kind of explain it. So first, let's talk about like what the contracts are asking you to do. This one is gives you this reward for 3 chimneys. This one gives you this reward for a completed villa. This one gives you this reward of 1 victory point for 1 grape. This one gives you this reward of 5 points for a bakery, a marketplace, and a well. This is 2, 1 of each of those goods. This is saying you gotta have a vineyard and a chicken coop, but they gotta be complete. That one's worth 7. And there's 2 herb, a fish and a chicken, herb and a fish. This is 3 completed fields. You see on this board, I've only got 2 completed. This one never got done. And then this one is a baker. This one's 3 grapes. And you can complete these contracts multiple times. So in our example here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chimneys. So you could get this, complete this 3 times. We have 2 completed villas, so you could get 6 points. So that looks pretty fantastic. So player blue will just go right there. So he's gonna get $3, right? Boom. And then he's gonna get 3 bread. All right. Now the villas, you count up how many completed his villas. He's got 2, so that's gonna be 6 points. Now let's use a different example where the player. Well, let's maybe have the next player. So the green player goes because he's next in Bandalore's order. He'll go there. Okay, so let's say that magically this is his board now. So he would get the 9 chimneys on his villas, and that would be worth the 3 gold and the 3 bread. And then he would get 5 points for every set he's got here, but he actually doesn't have the well to complete his set. So he would lose 4 points for every contract you can't complete. You lose 4 points, and instead he could then use these 3 bread to complete his contract, because you can complete any contract with 3 bread. So I think that covers that. So again, you're picking one of these spots. There's 17. You're going to do this 4 times in 4 phases, so that's 16 spots. The other players would choose and complete their contracts. This would be the end of the first phase. And then in phase 2, these spots stay spoken for, and you would have to place your new tokens in new spots. So blue seems to be having a lot of villas, so they would go here and try to complete that with maybe this money that they earned, or these grapes and herbs that they earned, and get the points. But since they're limited, you can't like continue to do it forever. So think that's good. Tokens remain. By the end, it'll be almost entirely filled. There's 17 spots, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, and 3. And 2 more. That's 17. So there'll be 1 spot left over, but it gets really cramped in that last round. After we do this 4 times, where you pick tiles, do contracts, reset the board past first player, pick pick tiles, do contracts and scoring. After we do that 4 times, there is endgame scoring. So let's talk about endgame scoring. I'll put this right here in my hand. All right, so the endgame scoring is down here. This is like the booby points here. You'll get 2 points for 1 point for every 2 goods. So this represents tiles that you were not able to place. There might be a case where you have to pick a tile at the end of the game and you're unable or unwilling to fit it on there. That's just bread. That's dollars. That is grapes, fish, herbs, and chicken. And you get 1 point for every 2. Add them all up. Divide by 2. This is the Bandolores roll. So on this track up here, you just get points equal to how far along you got on there. This is points for how you placed your buildings versus how enticed you were to do so. So we'll talk about that a little bit. If you notice here on the edge of the board, there is some buildings. So if you were able to build your building where you were enticed to do so and it completed, then you get the points for them. So in this case, this is saying on this axis, it wants a it's like a marketplace or whatever. I don't know. It's this yellow building. So if you do it, you get 4 points. So this one is actually on the exact same axis, and it wants a bakery on that same axis, and you get 4 points for the bakery. Now notice there's 2 bakeries here. You can only get those points 1 time. Down here, we have an example where this says, I want a chicken coop across this axis, and there is one, but it is not complete, does not count. Don't see any others. So in this case, and we get 8 points. Yep, 8 points. All right, so back to this. So that was what that was for. This is cards for a well. We talked about the well. When you get a well, you get to pick 2 cards and take 1. You draw 2, take 1. So we're imagining that over the course of this game, this player drew 2 wells, even though there's no wells on his board. But let's use our imaginations. So these are the 2 that the player got. This is 2 points for every completed herb garden. And there's 1, so that's 2 points. And this is 2 points for every bakery. 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 points, total of 8 points. And then the last thing is the number of chimneys, and that little symbol means completed villas. So we would count up the total number of chimneys in the completed villas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 10th one, but it's not completed. And then you just say 9 equals 18 points. You add it all up, and the person with the most points wins. So tips. I think the first round, you should focus pretty hard on trying to complete both your contracts. I haven't played a ton, but just guess I'm trying to say that it's hard to complete 2 contracts on the first turn, and you really have to put a lot of effort into it. Maybe you can do something else that would pay off more in the long run. Try not to do what other players are doing. Use your bread to maximize these 7 spots. That's kind of a lot of points. You know, you might do the 7 and then just get the 1 grape, but if you could do the 7 twice, you know, that's a lot of points, even though the grape is only worth 1. And then building in these incentivized locations, that turns out to be a lot of points. You can get like 25, 30 points just doing that. I think a winning score is about 100 points, maybe a little more. All right, that's everything. Goodbye.